What's up, bro?
Hey, Rick. How you doing, dude?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So we're in the final week of college football season, and the national championship is Monday night between Alabama and Clemson. What is your opinion on this matchup?
Yeah, being the second year of this college football playoff system, and I think Alabama and Clemson would both be in it if we were in the BCS era as well. So it's good to see that, it really is number one and number two teams out here again. And Alabama's just so deep. Saban knows how to work his best recruiting class past 3 years. He knows how to make those players work. I think Alabama's going to pull through by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Wow. And I mean you'll get my picks later in the show today, but I believe Clemson can beat Alabama. Deshaun Watson, I'm expecting him to have a big game. I don't think Derrick Henry. I really do think he is overrated. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, that whole Heisman situation is a whole other conversation, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But in going outside of the national championship, these games last weekend, what did you think of them?
Bowl season was kind of disappointing this year. Ohio State, love seeing my boys in scarlet and gray go out there and put in work, but Rose Bowl, Stanford wiped the floor with Iowa. Love my boy Christian McCaffrey. I wanted to see the Hawkeyes win, though. That TCU game, that's unreal. Crazy comeback there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an ESPN classic for sure.
That is.
But, I would kind of disappointing bowl season, to be honest. My picks weren't very good, didn't only went about 50% on it, but yeah.
I want to talk about Alabama's performance against Michigan State. Do you think Michigan State deserved to be in the semifinals?
Yeah, I do. I'm kind of biased being a Buckeye fan and all, but still, I do think Michigan State deserved it. I think Ohio State might be the better team, end of the day, especially with how they played against Notre Dame. But, Michigan State looked pretty bad against Alabama, didn't they?
Yes,
yeah.
They did. I think if Michigan State scores before the half and Connor Cook does not throw that interception, it's a completely different game. But moving on, I know 2 nights ago there was a classic at Allen Fieldhouse between the top 2 teams in college basketball, and I know after this week we're going to focus solely on college basketball, but how about those Oklahoma Sooners? I know they came up short, but you gotta give it to Buddy. I love that kid. Scoring 46 points. That's
59 minutes played in a 60-minute game. It's hard to. I only watched after the second half, but a second half and on. But you're not going to win a game when you give the ball to the same guy every possession, So you gotta be happy Kansas won. But Buddy's my boy. He put in good work out there.
He did. Now
see how he does in the big leagues here coming soon.
Yes.
But
and that's a preview of your Big 12 championship this year, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
But I know, and to throw Kentucky into this, I know Kentucky lost last night to LSU. I got to give it to Ben Simmons. Probably going to be player of the year this year. And it was funny because I was talking to someone today, and he said the same thing to me, is Kentucky's down. And I said to him, I was like, John Calipari does not think about it that way in a down year. It's a rebuilding year and reloading year. What do you think about Kentucky this year? I know they've lost to Ohio State and they've lost now to LSU.
Yeah, they're not the Kentucky we've seen in the past 2 or 3 years. They still get those 5-star recruits every year, but there's something about this season that's just not, ball isn't bouncing their way.
Yeah.
But you got to give it to Ben Simmons, he's the best player in the country right now, one of the best players we've seen the past 2 or 3 years to come through the NCAA. So beating LSU is always going to be a hard thing to do. It's just the national championship this year in college basketball is more open than it's ever been.
Yes, I will completely agree with you. Now, before we leave, I gotta ask about what are your expectations in this year's NFL draft?
See, that's a hard question. I want to see the Browns take my boy Bosa. I want to see that. I want to see him in the the orange and brown. I want to see my boy Zeke go to somewhere cool like the Giants. Him and Odell could be boys out there in New York. But there's some people. There's no quarterbacks in this class.
And that brings me to my next question. Who do you think is the best quarterback coming out of this draft class? I know right now Jared Goff out of California is right now probably the number one person to go off the board of quarterbacks. Where do you sit in that conversation?
If I'm an NFL GM right now, about to pick my quarterback in this year's draft, I'm taking Cardale Jones. He's proved he can play at that level. You just got to get him in the right system, get him consistently throwing the ball, and he's got that NFL long ball. He's got the frame. He could do it.
And it's funny is because you're not the only person that I've heard that from. A number of my sources have told me that they believe Cardale Jones will and could be a first-round pick. Now,
you can't always listen to those sources, though.
True. But last question here. Who do you think comes off the board first and goes to the Tennessee Titans?
So that's going to be the first pick of the draft?
Yes. Tennessee does have the first pick.
Could be Bosa. It's not going to be Zeke.
And obviously it's not going to be a quarterback because, they have Mariota.
They got Mariota. So maybe, you see, I'm not exactly sure what Tennessee needs because Taylor Decker is a great left tackle. I'm only naming Ohio State players, but it's one of the best Ohio State players.
And just going off of yesterday, you have probably the most people coming out are from Ohio State. Really quick, with your Browns sitting at 2, who do you think they go after?
They need a quarterback, and you know what? They want the Ohio boy. They want Cardale.
Now, I need your opinion on Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel. All right. He might be a little bit of a loose cannon, but when you're coming to Cleveland and you're not playing, you're sitting behind Josh McCown, who's not going to be a loose cannon, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Get that kid out of Cleveland. I don't know how he's going to do in Dallas, but get him in a situation, see if he can be a true starter, see if he can get that mindset, because he's got talent.
Yes.
I've seen it. He's got talent.
And I do believe the Browns will take a quarterback, and the quarterback I'm going to say they're going to take is Paxton or Lynch from Memphis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he put up some points this year, didn't he?
Well, Parker, we want to thank you for joining us on the show this week. It's always great to see you.
Yeah, seriously, man. Thanks for having me on. It was a blast.
No problem.